All right, so I'm Kenneth McCray. I am from Raleigh, North Carolina, born and raised about 4 hours, so it's a bit of a drive every time I come to school. I'm a senior, and I play quarterback here.
All right, and what is your favorite part about playing football at Bridgewater?
My favorite part is honestly just having the opportunity to do it. You know, a lot of times guys will play in high school and not, have the opportunity to go play at the next level, right, and not, get to keep, fulfilling their dream and, doing that kind of thing. So I feel like I'm just grateful to have the opportunity to come here and play and to have been here and just been a part of the program for the last 4 years. We won a ring in 2019, and that was a really good time. So, I'm just really happy to be here and happy to just have the opportunity.
Why did you decide to come to Bridgewater?
I decided to come here because, well, in the recruiting process, got recruited by a lot of small D3 schools and, a couple of D2s and, small D1 FBSs. But I had felt like here I had the best chance to play. I know it was another school that I was thinking about going to. You probably know this, Guilford, but I was thinking about going there heavy, and I didn't go there because I saw a lot of guys from my area go there, and it was just kind of like I wanted to kind of carve my own way, my own path, right? Just kind of get away and break the mold and do something new. So that's kind of what brought me out here.
Talk to me about your role on the Bridgewater College football team.
So my role on the team it's been challenging to say the least, right? I've been pretty much a backup the entirety of my career. And as a competitor, nobody really wants to be a backup. But, at the end of the day, like I said, I'm thankful to just have the opportunity to come and just be a part of the program. So, a lot of my role is just, at this point in my career, it's more so helping the younger guys. A lot of times, I'm often told, and not to toot my own horn, but I'm often told, I'm the easy person to gravitate towards as far as just being a leader and a guy that's going to set an example for you, just as far as doing what he has to do, handling his business. So a lot of times the younger guys I'll become friends with a lot of the younger guys super quick, and that doesn't normally happen on most sports teams. A lot of times the seniors are clicked up and the freshmen stay together, right? So but I like to go have fun and just get to know the guys, right? If you were around the team this year, came to practice, you catch and poke in front of a lot of the freshmen, but it's just kind of like to get them out of that nervous shell. We're all family here, so it's just kind of like just being that guy that pulls everybody together. I feel like that's kind of my role on the team.
So you'd say you're putting extra emphasis on leadership?
Yeah, I definitely would say that. Like I said, I don't really have a big role on the field, so I kind of want to figure out how I can help off the field. Off the field, basically, the best thing to do is just be a leader, set a good example. So,
how would you say your leadership role is influenced by your position as a quarterback?
Well, I feel like it definitely is influenced a lot. A lot of times that's kind of like your stereotypical thing. The quarterback is like the leader and he's on rah-rah and yelling at the team, giving speeches and stuff. But a lot of times leadership doesn't have to come in that rah-rah, yell at the team, get them together, and give a James Winston type speech role. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times, I'm a very quiet, reserved person. A lot of times I'll walk into a room and if I know you're gonna speak to, but I'm not a social butterfly. I'm not gonna go out of the way and try to make friends with. Well, I won't say that, but I'm just not a social butterfly. You get what I'm saying? So I feel like me being a quarterback, that kind of brought me out of my shell and forced me to kind of have to step up and be that leader and reach out and make sure everything's going well and just kind of keep everything on track and keep the machine well oiled, because at the end of the day, the quarterback is kind of that cog piece that keeps everything going, right? It's if your quarterback's dejected and bad mood and right, he still want to be there, majority of the team's not going to be there either, because that's the guy that we look at to be like, hey, what's he doing, right? I want to, they're going to feed off you. I learned that at a very young age. I played quarterback for the majority of my football career. So I learned that at a very young age that you got to be that guy you got to be that spark.
What is your opinion on that sort of stereotype for the quarterback?
My opinion on it, man, honestly, I think the stereotype, in my opinion, is really dead wrong. You know, I feel like some of the best teams that I've been a part of with, you know, myself being the head, and then like just coming up and like being like a younger guy and seeing older guys in front of you that are quarterbacks and leaders. Some of the best teams I've been on, the quarterbacks aren't that get in your face and yell at you and, you know, talk all this kind of, you know, loud noise and make all this racket, this ruckus, you know. A lot of the times, the quarterback is a, you know, pretty laid back kind of guy. He's gonna, like I said, handle his business and just kind of make sure everything is going intact. You know, you don't have to yell and you don't have to, you know, come on guys, let's get it together, let's go, let's go, let's go. You don't have to be that kind of guy all the time, right? And a lot of times, if things are going bad and, you know, your receivers aren't, you know, somebody messes up or, you know, if something happens, a lot of times guys don't want to hear that. Guys don't want to hear you be in their face, you know, yell at them and say, hey, let's go, come on, pick it up. Like, you got it, you got it, you got it. A lot of times you got to, you know, just kind of sit out and talk to them. Hey, what's going on, what's going wrong? You know, let's figure out what we can do, right? And then go from there. But I feel like a lot of times the stereotype of quarterbacks sitting up in your face is just dead wrong. A lot of times when you have quarterbacks like that on those teams, they just aren't that good. You know, because it gets to a point where, you know, you mess up so many times and the quarterback keeps yelling at me and it's like, all right, we're both the same age. So now we're going to butt heads. Like, you're not going to yell at me like you're my father or anything like that, right? It becomes that whole power struggle and, you know, the dynamic of like, hey, I'm smelling myself, but you're smelling yourself too. So, you know, we're going to clash heads.
Could you tell me a little bit about your home life, your background, childhood, all that stuff?
So coming up, like I said, I've been playing football since I was like 7, man. So it's just kind of like a natural thing to me. I'm a sports fanatic. You know, anything to do with sports, I love. Hockey, football, basketball, baseball on occasion. You know, I like everything to do with sports. My friends always, like coming up, everybody watches, you know, shows and movies and all that kind of stuff. And I was always the kind of guy to throw on ESPN and just be fascinated by anything that was on it. So I feel like coming up, sports has played a big part of my life, as well as family. I feel like I was definitely, you know, groomed, I guess you could say, by my family to just kind of be like family oriented, family dependent, and just, you know, at the end of the day, put family first. Like, it's cliche, I know, but that's just kind of how I am. And I talk to my little brother very, very often, you know, and I know a lot of people have siblings that they don't want to talk to at all, you know, for months, but I feel like I couldn't do that. In 2 days max, like today, before practice, I had on my 2 ankle braces. I snapped them and I was like, man, my ankles are made of glass. Like, we were making jokes going back and forth. So I feel like definitely being family oriented is probably like the biggest part of like my upbringing and, you know, kind of who I am really. So.
How old's your brother?
He's 18. Yeah, he's 18.
Do you play high school football?
He plays in college now.
He plays college?
Yeah,
where at?
He goes to Wingate.
Oh shoot, he's D2.
Yeah.
Good for him.
He's like 6'1", 180, fast as lightning. He's not fast as me. Pretty good, man.
Who has been your biggest influence, both on and off the field?
My biggest influence, I'll start with off the field, but, you know, I can't really pinpoint one person. Like I said, it had to be family. My mom and dad are, you know, they've always been there day one, thick and thin. They're always with me. You know, some of my tough times that I've had up here, like I said, I've been a backup for a minute, and, you know, being a backup, it's mentally challenging. Like, it's draining, it's taxing. So some of my toughest times, you know, the first person I'm calling is my mom and my dad. You know, and I feel like they're just that guiding piece of like, hey, you know, I'm my home base. So I feel like that was my biggest influence off the field. As far as on the field, I grew up a huge Cam Newton fan because I'm like I said, I'm from Carolina. Carolina Panthers fan. You know, we were growing up and getting into football, and I think he got drafted like around 2010, 2011. Right? And when you're 11 years old, you're kind of just getting into football. I think that's like the middle school years, just getting into it. So you're just kind of really like starting to understand what football is and like who people are. And I feel like Cam really like helped me fall in love with the game, if you will. He just brought that energy, the excitement, the X factor. It's kind of like, man, you know, I play quarterback too, and to help it, he looks like me, so I want to be like him, right? I'm not as tall or as big as him, but you know, you get what I'm saying. In a sense, we look the same, so it's kind of like it's a good role model to have, right? That really gets in trouble off the field, and and just brings it every game. So I feel like that's my on-field role model, if you will.
What are your career goals and aspirations?
My career goals and aspirations. I definitely want, like I said, I'm driven by sports. I definitely want to go into sports media. I'm a comm major and a coaching minor as well. So, I do a lot of things with Lynn Walsh works here at the media department. I do a lot of things with her. Trying to really gain experience and kind of gain traction as to what I want to do. Like the things that we do with her, I do it in the off season because I can't do it while I'm playing football. But the things that we do, in the press box at games and working stats and production truck and all that kind of stuff, I want to get into that. So, I feel like that's definitely my career aspirations because I feel like if I'm doing something like that regarding sports, it won't really feel like work. It's something that I love and I'll be, driven to show up to, as opposed to like a 9-to-5 job that I'm just not really trying to be at, or something that I'm, just not driven to be at. So,
how much is football? Although you kind of already did answer it, how much is football played into your career goals?
Well, like I said, I'll just reiterate it. I mean, it's what I want to do. It's what I want to be around. Like I said, I want to go into sports media. I guess you could say my dream job would be working with the Carolina Panthers, the hometown team. It's just kind of like something. It's whenever I go to Charlotte as a kid, I go to games. It's kind of like you just marvel at it. Like, man, this stadium is like beautiful. Like if I could just work here every day and just enjoy it, like that'd be like the life, right? So I feel like that's a big part. And then, like we just mentioned, we're both coaching minors. So, if that, I feel like I could always go into coaching. I've had situations in my years, high school specifically, my senior year when I wasn't able to play for 5 games, having to help coach the freshman quarterback and keep him on track and kind of teach him like the ins and outs and what a veteran would do. I guess having to play that coach role, I found that I was like, I'm pretty good at this. I'm pretty decent. Like I could do something like that, right? So I feel like I definitely could fall back on coaching or sports media, but football definitely influences both of those in a big way because I just want to stay around the sport. You can't play forever. It's got to end someday. So.